くぞ。
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today I want to talk about changes that need to happen in KOFAS. As we play this game more and more, and as we get more and more power creep, game modes just become easier and easier and easier. And what happens with that is that, well, it starts becoming a bit stale and a bit boring, right? So we need some changes. We need some things to happen in this game to keep it alive, to keep it interesting for all of us to want to keep playing this game. So the first thing that I want to touch on is crafting cards. Now, I talked about this a couple days ago about the fact that you could craft, some of these cards. You could craft these cards right here, so that way you could use them as fodder to transcend other cards. Well, the thing is, once you craft so many of them, then you can't craft any more. Now, we can farm for these cards in the power-up dungeon, which is nice, right? We can come in the power-up dungeon, and we can farm for cards all day, every day, as much as we want. But what I would like to see, personally, is that in the event here, these things here, we need to be able to farm more cards. So whether they put another card in here, like say another card in here that we can use as fodder to transcend other cards, that would be awesome. Whether they give us an unlimited amount of these cards, that would be awesome. Because what's happening is, for a lot of us veterans, is this game mode, right, whenever we face Mecha Genis or Shizu or Shizuru in here, is becoming useless. And we don't want to play it. And whenever you introduce game modes in any game, you want those game modes to be viable. You want people to want to play them. And there's no reason for people like me, for veterans, for people who've been playing this game for a while, to play this, because they're not going to be getting any more rewards once they collect all these cards. And these cards are decent cards for beginners, but after a while, over time, you're just going to be using fest cards, other cards, so you just end up wanting to use them as fodder to transcend other cards. So I think either giving us, an unlimited amount of these cards, or just some other kind of other card that we can use as fodder to transcend other cards, I think that would be an amazing thing that the game could do, because it would keep this game mode here actually still relevant. The next thing that I want to touch on, and I've talked about this 100 million times in other videos, but I'm going to mention it again, is a preset button. Actually, let's click out of here. So we have all these different game modes. We got Guild Raid, we have Dungeon of Trials, we have RHD, and all these things, right? Wouldn't it be awesome, and you guys probably already know what I'm getting to here, wouldn't it be awesome if we had a damn preset button where, say, yesterday I played on Lunatic against Nightmare Geese, I had a certain team, blah, 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 and I just had a little button right here where I just hit that damn button and my team showed up, the cards were already equipped, and done. One and done, beep, finish, I can play. Instead of always having to manually come into every single character, or equip the right character, equip the right striker, put the card sets on them, blah, blah, blah. Because we have to put card sets on the strikers, we have to put card sets obviously on our damage dealers. I mean, you don't have to put card sets on the strikers, but if you do, it's going to add a lot more CP to your main damage dealers, right? So it'd be awesome if we just had a preset button, especially because this UI interface is so slow. We have such long loading screens, and if we had that preset button, that would be a godly quality of life change. Just imagine, guys, if you jumped into Dungeon of Trials, right? If you jumped into Dungeon of Trials here, a game mode that has, 5 damn characters, 5 characters and 5 strikers, right? And you could just equip all of the right characters that you want automatically, the card sits on them automatically, just with the click of a button, boom, done. And then just jump in and play. That would be absolutely amazing. And if they did that for all of the game modes that we play, like the Immortal Dungeons, whatever, that would be absolutely nuts. Beautiful quality of life change. The next thing that they need to do is give us some more elemental dungeons, or not more, or more immortal dungeons, right? We need more of these things, right? These things have become a joke. They've become so easy that it's not even funny. We need one with a little bit of challenge, and honestly, it wouldn't be bad if we had some different rewards in it, or if the same rewards, that's fine. Gold hammers, imprint stones, that's fine, right? Give us one with Starlight, right? Give us one where we need Starlight Dot. We have all the other, we use all the other dots. We use Shock, we use Burn, right? We use Darkness. All of these dots are effective in here, Chill, and so on. But Starlight isn't. Give us one that has some Starlight. That would be a nice thing, because we know we need some new content to keep the game spicy, to keep it interesting. And if we keep doing the same things over and over and over, Well, I mean, game modes just become stale. They become, actually, they start getting quite boring, which is something you don't really want. The next thing that I would mention is, give us some more of these. Give us some more elemental dungeons. Because the thing is, we need a lot of CP to be able to do these. You need 70,000 CP, right? Well, now a lot of players are doing, they got 150,000 CP and all this. And this has just become a game mode. It's a great game mode, but it'd be awesome to have some more tiers. That way we could collect more rubies, maybe get some more rewards, and maybe even offer some kind of fragment system in here to where we could actually farm for SS or BS memories, right? Maybe you'd need so many of these tokens right here to get a certain fragment, and then when you get so many fragments, you could get a BS or SS memory. That would be awesome because it would actually reward players for having all that extra CP. It would reward players for getting those, say like the Guilty Gear card set, which adds an insane amount of CP to your Guilty Gear characters, and so on and so on and so on. I think that would be absolutely fantastic if they did that. Give us a few more tiers in here because this is a one and done thing. We play it once and then we can just auto clear it afterwards. So give us a few more. I mean, it's really high time that we got some more of those elemental dungeons. The next thing that they need to do is something that they've been recently doing with the new time attack, right? Now, this is something that I really, really love because it rewards players that actually pull in those banners. On my free-to-play account, I didn't get to do this. I didn't get those 140 rubies a day or whatever amount of rubies you're getting every day, depending on your skill level and the build of your character. But like on this account, on my main account, I did pull for the characters. So you should get rewarded, right? You should get those rubies for playing this. And I really like the fact that they make this specific to those characters in the banners. This is, I think we need to see more of this. I really, really like the new time attack system. And really for like the banners, I think that's a really terrific idea to have those things in there. And that's not necessarily a change. It's just something that I want to keep seeing, right? I just think it's a really good idea to have those kinds of things. I like things that motivate players and incentivize players to want to pull in these banners because here's the thing, guys. Characters have become so powerful and so strong. Once you get your hands on a couple of these characters and you have them at, A2 or even A3, you can pretty much plow through content, right? It's a big problem in the game. All this power creep is a big problem, right? We need more content in order for this game to really survive, in order for it to stay spicy and interesting and fun. Because again, if you just play the same things over and over and over, and you can just walk into Guild Raid and get 2 billion plus, like it's nothing without even trying, then it's just going to start getting boring. You can only brag for so long, and you can only boast for so long about your scores that you're actually getting before it starts actually getting stale. Now, another change that I would really love to see is having some more of these things, but not specifically just to the characters. I mean, if they want to keep doing it to specifically to banners, like what they did with the DOA 6, with the Guilty Gear, and obviously with Ash and Nameless, I mean, that's fine. Keep doing this. This is wonderful because, every one of these levels gives you a certain reward. But what I would like to see, and I think this would be amazing for KOFAS, and I think a lot of you in the comments would actually love this, is if they did this for like our gold border characters. Give us one of these every single month where we can get a certain rewards out of it, whether it's summon tickets, rubies, whether it's gold hammers, whatever it may be, right? With using our gold characters. Can you imagine putting Mukai and Psyche in here, our buff characters, right? And those are the only characters you could use in here, right? And then a month later, they put in some different characters, or every 2 weeks alternate it, right? Whatever it may be, but just because what it would do is it would actually make our gold border characters relevant again. We don't use these characters, all these characters we have, we don't use. The only reason we level them up is for our codex. That's the only reason we level these characters up, to increase our CP by leveling up our characters to level 30, level 60, level 90. But other than that, we don't need these characters. There are some rare exceptions to the gold border characters and the silver border and bronze because you do need certain cost requirements in certain game modes. But that's very rare. It doesn't happen very often. And most of the time, pretty much 99% of the time, all these characters are going to sit on the sidelines and just collect dust. Net marble. Make it to where we have like more of those Two Souls events where we could bring in someone like Yuri, right? Make it a cost requirement. That would be cool. Have like a Two Souls event where you have a certain cost requirement and you had to play with cost, 39s, or you had to play with cost 45s, or whatever it may be, right? Give us a little variety. Give us a little spice. I think that would be absolutely amazing, right? Make it to where we can only use purple characters or green characters. Because another problem is, because of the meta shift, right? Because of all the power creep, we tend to focus on the meta characters all the time. So we end up playing with these same characters over and over and over and over. Yeah, we got some variety in the Immortal Dungeons, but let's be honest. Dungeon Trials, you're going to use the same characters over and over. Guild Raid, you're going to use the same characters over and over and over. Chapter Fight, you're going to use the same characters over and over and over. Right? Demo Space when it comes back. I mean, yeah, you're going to be splitting up your characters, but at the end of the day, whenever you go into the top tier that you can go to, you're going to use the strongest meta characters. Right? Every single time. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you need to give us a little bit more variety in the game to where we can actually use some of our gold borders, some of our bronze, some of our silver. That would be absolutely amazing. And I think having a 2 souls event, right? A 2 soul event for our regular characters that we have always available in the game would be absolutely amazing. It would also make the United banner even more relevant. Because if people know that they need those characters to be able to get some more rewards, like from these 2 souls events, then they're going to be more likely to level them up. They're going to be more likely to want that CP so they can go all the way to the top and go to level 30 or whatever level you have available for them. On my free-to-play account, I'm not leveling up hardly any of my regular Fest characters. I'm not leveling up hardly, I'm only leveling up the gold border characters that I absolutely need for requirements, and that's it. Because I can do everything in the game on my free-to-play account that's like 8 months old. Everything, pretty much. For the most part, can max out pretty much everything, except for maybe Demo Space and Chapter Fight. Just don't have the CP to be able to do those because my codex isn't leveled up or my characters just aren't leveled up enough. But I'm doing terrific in the game. It's actually becoming very, very easy, and that isn't a good thing, my friends. It isn't a good thing. You know, Netmarble, if you're going to pump out these characters left and right, over and over and over, banner after banner after banner after banner, you need to keep the game more interesting, and really you need to give us some, like, Demo Space is good difficulty. It's a high difficulty, but it takes so long to do 50 stages. I hope when it comes back that you guys do something about that. It's absolutely ridiculous to have to go through 50 stages. It takes about 3 hours to get through that thing. Maybe for some of you, maybe it'll take less time, but that is a long time to sit and play that. And you can split it up amongst 7 days, but honestly, it's just the same thing over and over and over. It just gets more difficult as you go. You just need more CP as you go. But I think, you know, having like 2 souls events every single month or every 2 weeks, whatever it may be, every 3 weeks, whatever it may be, would be awesome. It would make the game more interesting. And it also would give us something to look forward to. We'd be like, oh, yeah. Okay, today we get to use Yuri here, right? We get to use Yuri, right? She's going to be awesome in 2 souls. We can get some rewards, or we can use Iori here. That would be fantastic if they'd done something like that. Not to mention all the other things, right? If you could endlessly craft cards from the crafting event, from doing Shizuru and Mecha Genis and Shizu, that would be awesome, right? You can continuously farm in those game modes and make those game modes more relevant, having the preset buttons, having more elemental dungeons, having another immortal dungeon, especially one with Starlight, keep doing the time attack events for the new banners that are coming out. And again, the 2 soul thing I think would be absolutely amazing if we could use gold border characters, Fest characters that we don't really use anymore. So I know I rambled on quite a bit about all these changes, but you know, I really do think that these changes would help the game a lot. I think it would increase the quality of life tremendously. I think players would have a lot more fun. I think they'd be a lot happier to see like some of these gold border characters and other characters be more useful in the game, be more relevant instead of sitting on a shelf collecting dust. So let me know what y'all think about these ideas, and put in the comments if you have any ideas to make KOFAS a much better game for all of us. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. TNT+7 time. The link is in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, y'all. Take care and have a good one. See ya.